Blake Shelton kicked OFF The View with Joy Behar after fiery clash. That's the headline that exploded across the internet yesterday, and it's still trending #1 on every platform. It all started when country superstar Blake Shelton agreed to come on The View to promote his new album Back Road Prayer and his upcoming residency in Las Vegas. Everyone thought it would be the usual light-hearted banter, maybe some jokes about his marriage to Gwen Stefani, a little singing, and everyone goes home happy. But nobody, and I mean nobody, expected what actually went down in those 12 explosive minutes that have now been viewed over 80 million times. The clip starts innocently enough with Whoopi Goldberg introducing Blake to thunderous applause. He walks out in his signature cowboy hat and plaid shirt, big smile, waving to the crowd like the good old boy he is. The first 2 minutes are exactly what you'd predict. Sonny Hostin asks about his ranch in Oklahoma. Sarah Haynes wants to know if Gwen is jealous of all the female fans. Standard daytime TV fluff. Blake is playing along, cracking jokes, saying Gwen trusts him because she knows I'm too lazy to cheat. The audience eats it up. Then Joy Behar leans forward with the smirk she's famous for, and everything changes in a split second. Joy starts by saying she listened to the new album and found it very traditional, very rich state America. Blake nods and says thank you, thinking it's a compliment. But Joy keeps going. Don't you ever feel like country music sometimes glorifies a lifestyle that leaves people behind? The guns, the trucks, the beer, the God stuff? The audience lets out a little gasp because you can feel the temperature in the room drop 10 degrees. Blake chuckles at first, trying to keep it light, and says, well Joy, I grew up with guns, trucks, beer, and God, and I turned out just fine. The crowd cheers, but Joy isn't done. She fires back. Did you though? Because a lot of people who grow up like that end up addicted to opioids or voting for people who want to take away women's rights. Dead silence. You can literally hear the air conditioning. Blake's smile disappears completely. He leans into the microphone and says, Joy, with all due respect, I didn't come here to get lectured by somebody who lives in a Manhattan penthouse about what's wrong with my life or the lives of my fans. The audience erupts, half cheering, half booing. Whoopi tries to jump in and calm things down, but Joy doubles down and says, I'm just asking if you feel any responsibility for the message you're putting out there to millions of people. Blake looks her dead in the eye and replies, my responsibility is to sing what I know and what my fans live every day. Maybe your responsibility should be listening to somebody else for a change instead of talking down to them. That's when it goes nuclear. Joy rolls her eyes so hard the cameras catch it in 4K and mutters, oh, here we go with the victim card. Blake hears it and says, victim card? Lady, I buried my brother when I was 14. I've been working since I could walk. Don't talk to me about playing cards. The audience is now screaming. Alyssa Farah Griffin tries to pivot to a commercial break, but Blake keeps going. You sit up here every day telling half the country they're stupid or racist or whatever word you people use this week just because they don't vote the way you want. Joy snaps back. You people? Who's you people? Blake? And the place loses its mind. Security starts moving toward the stage because producers are panicked. Whoopi is literally waving her hands trying to get control, but Blake stands up, takes off his microphone pack, and says, you know what, I'm done. I don't need this. He throws the mic on the chair and starts walking off. The crowd is on its feet, some chanting Blake, Blake. Others booing Joy. Joy yells after him, yeah, walk away. That's what they all do when they can't handle a real conversation. Blake turns around one last time and says, Joy, I hope someday you get out of that bubble and see the real world, because it's a hell of a lot bigger than this studio. Within 30 seconds the clip is already on Twitter. Someone in the control room leaked the raw unedited feed and it spreads faster than anything we've ever seen. ABC cuts to commercial immediately, and when they come back Whoopi looks shaken and says, well, that was a broken bar something. We're going to take a deeper look at this after the break, but the damage is done. By the time the show ends, Blake walks is the #1 trending topic worldwide, boycott The View is #2, and Joy Behar is #3 with over 2 million tweets, most of them brutal. Country radio stations start playing Blake's songs back to back with DJs saying this one's for the real America. Gwen Stefani posts a simple cowboy hat emoji on her Instagram story and it gets 12 million likes in an hour. Meanwhile, TMZ reports that Blake's team is already in talks with Fox Nation for an exclusive tell-all interview because he's never doing another liberal morning show again. Ticket sales for his Vegas residency crash the server and sell out the entire first month in 9 minutes. People are literally scalping tickets for $3,000 a seat because everyone wants to see the guy who just told off The View in real time. Back in the studio, the fallout is immediate. Sources say Joy Behar stormed off set the moment cameras stopped rolling and refused to come back for the rest of the taping. Ana Navarro apparently tried to calm everyone down but ended up crying in the hallway. ABC executives are in full panic mode because advertisers are already pulling spots for tomorrow's episode. One major sponsor, a farm equipment company, releases a statement saying they stand with Blake Shelton and real American values. By 6 o'clock Eastern Time the official statement from The View comes out. Today's conversation became overly heated and we regret that our guest felt the need to leave the stage. We wish Blake all the best, but it's too late. The internet has decided Joy Behar finally picked the wrong cowboy to mess with. Memes are everywhere. Blake riding off on a horse made of microphones. Joy Behar's face photoshopped onto every villain from every Western movie ever made. Someone overlays Blake's walk-off with the Johnny Cash song I Walk the Line and it already has 40 million views. Bar owners in Texas are putting up signs that say free beer for anyone who brings a clip of Joy Behar getting owned. So where do we go from here? Blake Shelton is now bigger than he's ever been. His new single jumps from number 42 to number 1 on iTunes in less than 4 hours. People who never listened to country music in their lives are streaming his entire catalog. The View's ratings for tomorrow are expected to be through the roof because everyone wants to see if Joy apologizes or doubles down. My money's on doubles down because that's who she is. But the bigger story is what this moment says about America right now. One half of the country sees Blake as a hero who finally said what they've been thinking for years. The other half sees him as a thin-skinned celebrity who can't handle a tough question. And maybe both things can be true at the same time. But one thing nobody can argue with. In 12 minutes Blake Shelton did what nobody else has ever done. He walked off The View, told Joy Behar exactly what millions wanted to say, and turned himself into the biggest story in entertainment overnight. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to admit that, my friends, is how you make a moment that will be talked about for years.